Here at Second Wind, we sure do like talking, but not everyone wants to look at us while we talk. Well, good news! Our podcasts like Windbreaker, Firelink, DevHeads, and The Rewind, plus audio-only episodes of Fully Ramblematic and Adventure is Nigh are all on Spotify or your PPP, and that's your preferred podcast platform.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 82 for Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Marty Sleeva here, joined by Casey Wosu, Nick Calandra, and producer Eric. And we got a humdinger, a legally binding humdinger tonight. Silksong has officially released as of this morning. I would say a little bit of turbulence in the landing, but stuck landing. Everyone's alive on the plane, and we've had a chance to play the game. So we're going to be giving some of our impressions of the first couple hours that we've played, as well as just talking a little bit about the launch and kind of how should games launch in 2025, as well as touching on the 007 First Light presentation that was yesterday. That is the new Bond game from the IO Interactive team behind Hitman. Showed off a bunch of the game. So we'll talk about what we think about that. And of course, we've been playing all sorts of stuff. Nick went wild. Nick went on vacation. Instead of like sitting on a beach, sipping like a juice cocktail, he just played a bunch of games, which is incredible. So he's going to tell us about all those. That's it. We did it. Show's pretty much done now. Like, we could probably go home now.
Great job.
We told them what we were going to talk about. They don't need to. They can, in their minds, they know like the kind of shit we're going to say about Silksong and Bond. And be like,
Yeah, just fill in the blanks.
It's easy. Why do we even do this? Dunagak? What? Oh, all I heard Eric say was Dunagak, and I thought everything was broke. Nick, how are you doing? I'm glad to have you back.
I am nice and refreshed from a week away from that nonsense that just happened.
There you go. There you go. Casey, how's your Dunagak going?
It's going. I gotta catch it.
Gotta catch the Dunagak.
But no, yeah, things are going great. I got old man shit that I'm excited about. Like, I got grass growing in my backyard for the first time in a long time.
Oh, and you're
It feels
excited
like
about that.
The pool is gone. I had horror stories about that kind of abandoned pool in my backyard for years now. They finally filled it in. They covered it with dirt. Like they literally buried the pool in the ground like it's dead.
That's
and now
so much dirt.
The grass, yeah, it was a lot of dirt. There's still like traces of the dirt around like my driveway.
Wait, so did they not get rid of like the cement or anything of the pool?
No, yeah, they had to jackhammer all this, like they took out all the line or whatever, jackhammer down all the sides, and then use the dump truck to grab that and haul off.
Gotcha. I was kind of hoping.
And then
you just literally buried the pool, so if somebody moves in after and they pick it up.
That is how I would have gone about it. It seemed like a lot of extra work to destroy the pool, but I guess that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's incredible.
But I'm just happy the grass is growing.
It's
like two workers. Like I got a guy, a nice older gentleman named Vinny, who hooked me up, gave me a great price. Him and his son did a fantastic job. And in addition to all of that, his son, we got to talking. It was like, hey, I got a free cat. You want this free cat? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? Let me. So he'll show back up with a free kitten because they got a free. They had a cat who had babies. Yeah, so like my pool's gone and I'm about to get a new cat. Great, I'm doing great.
That is insane.
Why did it not surprise me at all that a worker in New York or New Jersey was called Vinny?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty
pretty spot on. I had a new garage door put in, and let me tell you, one dude did it. I thought it would be a team of 15 having to put a garage door in. One dude did it, and it turns out garage doors are like a bunch of small slats that they stick together.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be one large door.
That
One
makes
guy
so
did
much
it.
sense.
He arrived well kept in a hoodie, and 4 hours later, he was the sweatiest man I had ever seen. Just the absolute sweatiest. But shout out to him. I don't know his name, and I didn't take any cats from him, but I paid him, and I gave him water halfway through. So that seems nice.
That's a transaction.
Casey, if you want more old man things to do, I've got a tree growing underneath another tree that won't stop growing, and I need to get rid of it.
Oh,
That
So
sounds
if you
like
want a free
reception.
If you want
like
a
a
free
root
tree,
canal.
well, I paid somebody to remove it, and they didn't actually remove it, so now I'm kind of pissed.
You should call Vinny.
You got to get your money back is what you got to do.
Yeah, I know.
Vinny will get it done.
I've also got like vines that keep growing somewhere, and they just don't stop, and they take over everything. I hate vines. Vines are the bane of my existence owning a house.
You know what's worse than vines? No, go ahead.
I know. I was gonna go way off topic. It's you. It's you. It's all you.
I was gonna say worse than vines, bamboo.
Oh, okay.
Bamboo will fuck your shit up. Folks plant it because it looks really. It's like a
where in New
privacy
Jersey
screen.
is bamboo growing?
Is it privacy
Wherever
fence?
you plant it. Yeah,
it's not like naturally growing.
Yeah, well, not naturally. No, absolutely.
Do we have a bamboo forest in New Jersey I don't know about?
Here's the thing about New Jersey. You can plant almost anything. Like Jersey, pretty much across the board, is very fertile. You can just put exotic plants from anywhere in Jersey soil, and it'll grow. You can do it.
That's why it's called the fertile state. I was going to say RIP Vine because Vine was a social media platform that I actually liked because it was like, how quick can you do a 7-second goof? And turned out a lot of kids could, and I appreciate them. We're about to jump into our Silksong chat. Before we do that, witticism, thank you so much with a $2 dono. Just said cat distribution system at work. Congrats, KC. Listen. The perfect way to do it. And thank you so much, witticism. As you know, our super chats right now are going towards that Adventure is Nice season 5 on location stretch goal. That is a one shot that Jack has planned that needs to be in person because there's physical things to it. I hope it's an escape room. I hope it's just put you in a room and there's a clock that goes down and you like figure out how to get out of the room.
What if this is just a heist?
This team doing an escape room together? Yeah, right.
I think it would be great.
I honestly think we'd be great at an escape room.
I think we'd be incredible.
One debate would come up over with Jesse Galena, and we would never.
Okay, Casey and I would be great in this escape room together with no one else. I think Casey and I would be fine.
Jesse Schwab would be pulling out his joke book. Jack would be making puns.
Okay, all this kind of sounds great. All this sounds like how we escape a room.
I'd be looking for these nuts everywhere.
Everywhere. I'll tell you where to find these nuts. You're going to find it right at the beginning of Team Cherry's Silksong. Because let me tell you, it's finally here. After a 7-year wait, Silksong arrived this morning. There was a bit of a, like I mentioned earlier, a rocky landing in terms of right at 9 a.m. Central. Convert that to your time. A lot of people logging on their stores of choice, trying to download the game. I know for someone like Jay, it took him about 2 hours to be able to log into Steam and purchase the game. It took me about 20 minutes to get Switch sorted out to be able to do it. I know, Casey, you were having trouble finding it on Xbox, right?
It just never showed up, so I kind of just bought it on Switch.
Sure.
Because that seemed to work. But yeah, it's weird. Is that the fault of Silksong though, or is that is that our fault because we're
just so popular,
super excited? Yeah,
every live stream possible for how many years has been Silksong.
Yeah,
this was gonna happen no matter what.
Mr. Jacko over in the Patreon. And remember, if you're at the $5 tier or above in Patreon, we solicit your comments and concerns in the show. Mr. Jacko said, "Is the Silksong digital storefront disaster a good argument in favor of the pre-order / preloading model?" I mean, ultimately, it's like a 1 or 2 hour thing. That's like a footnote of a footnote in history, like, right? It's
and not even
like
much of one, honestly. Yeah, because it wasn't more than an hour. I feel like for most people to get access to it,
and it's not like it's an online game that's going to have like trouble over the weekend. Like it will play fine for you. So
you just need to
2 hour delay made sure people went and took a shower and ate some food before they jumped in,
which is great. You got to be clean if you're hanging out with our main 8-handed girl Hornet.
You know, like this is Silk. Folks.
This is Silk. This ain't Dirt Mound. This ain't the fucking nasty ass boys of Hollow Knight.
What's the name of that first town? Dirtmouth?
I think it's Dirtmouth.
It's literally Dirtmouth. Yeah,
Dirtmouth. That's a crusty ass city. I don't want to be there. Whereas Silksong's real nice, real smooth. But the game is here. Jay and I streamed it for a few hours this morning. I've gotten to play a bit past that. What are our first impressions? Casey, you're a big Hollow Knight fan. Have you gotten a chance to play? What do you think?
I have. I put a couple of hours in. I watched some of you guys' stream as well. I got maybe a little further than what was on stream as well, so not too much. But I will say, a lot of people's biggest complaints about the first game, Hollow Knight, is that those opening hours are kind of oppressive and they kind of push people away and whatnot. I don't think Silksong feels like that. For one really strong reason is because of the dive kick. Like like from the gate, you get access to one move that if you start to experiment with it as you're playing, you learn kind of the intricacies of it and how versatile it is. Like, so you get to feel really cool and powerful with just that up until you start getting the other things, like, the spear, which is the first thing, and the second thing is the running thing. The running thing, though, I don't actually know what the order is, but yeah, the running thing feels so effing good. Like, that is
genuine game changer.
It's immediately fun as hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. Like, it already is meeting all my expectations that I have for this game.
Hell yeah. Nick, I know you were sort of not lukewarm, but you're not in the cult of Hollow Knight like the rest of us. Did you get a chance to play? Did you like it?
Yeah, I've played up to a little bit past the first boss that you fight. I clicked with this right away compared to the first game, and I messaged you about it on Slack, specifically because there's a ledge grab, and it made the platforming feel immediately better to me.
Yeah,
I've been playing the first game a little bit over my break, and I like it. I just like precision platforming. It just isn't so much my thing. So this kind of being a little bit more forgiving on the platforming with the ledge grab right out of the gate. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I can see myself continuing on with this one just from that little change. It like made, because I even went right back and like loaded up Hollow Knight to just see, like, this game didn't have a ledge grab, right? And as soon as I got in, I was like, nope, doesn't feel good. Back to Silksong.
Yeah. The knight in Hollow Knight, famously weak wrists, can't pull himself up from ledges, whereas Hornet, extremely strong wrists.
You got to kill that mantis first, and then he gets the claw hands.
he gets weirdly strong wrists. Yeah.
The game also just has a lot of vibration feedback on Switch too, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
So that makes it just feel way better to play, just having that there too. It just overall out of the gate feels like a better game to play.
Yeah, I've been playing it on Switch too as well. Performance is great. I've had like 2 times where randomly I'm playing in handheld mode and one of my controllers will be like, I'm not connected. And I'm like, yes, you are. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm sorry. And then it goes back to the game. I'm like, don't do that.
You're playing with like the stock Joy-Cons, I'm guessing. Yeah, like mine have done that during Smash as well.
I think it's because when I get intense, I do a grip. And I think the grip kind of like maybe futzes with the angle of them just enough. I think it's when I'm like going kind of hog on a game.
I think that's bad design though.
I agree. They're like using magnets. Pretty shitty. And I don't trust magnets. Nintendo, I go hog on games. Nintendo should know. I've been going on hog on your games for the last 35 years.
They've been doing this for too long to not expect people to go hog. That's all I'm saying.
Miyamoto, get your shit together is what we're trying to say. I've been tickle pink with the first couple hours of the game. I think the opening is really great and atmospheric and has this, I was telling Jay, kind of feels like the opening of like Eco or Shadow of the Colossus, just seeing like the literal cutscene before you start playing of like, why is she imprisoned? Who are these people? Where are they taking her? And then all of a sudden something happens and you break out of the cage and you have to sort of learn about this strange new world along with her, which I really like. And then the music, obviously, unsurprisingly incredible. I also think the visuals do a really great job of depth of field. In terms of the areas feel larger than they did in Hollow. Hollow Knight always felt to me like an anthill, and which is, I think, part of how it's supposed to be, where it almost feels like you're looking at like a very narrow slice of all these worlds. Whereas this, as soon as you get to that first town, there's like you see things in the distance. You see like NPCs kind of in the distance. You can't talk to them, but like this feels like a town that has more than 4 people.
Right.
And I think it just makes it feel like a bigger game, a bigger world right off the bat.
There's an effect that is at play in some areas that I'm pretty sure was not there in Hollow Knight. You can see it mostly, or maybe only, when you get to those kind of big idols where you get a new power. And like as you're approaching it, there's like a little bit of like 3-dimensionalness to like that structure. And like as you're like you can see kind of the corner of it, and as you get closer, it kind of like straightens out in front of the camera.
Yeah,
and like
I noticed that.
It was a really cool effect that I'm like, I don't think Hollow Knight did that ever.
Yeah, it's like a parallax scrolling, but also with what
like,
feel like 3D models,
like a bit of rotation. Yeah, it's really really cool.
Yeah,
like you said, the atmosphere in this game has improved. It is a better version of what Hollow Knight was so good at. And I'm really looking forward to like just experiencing all the new bull crap that's in there. But also, like you said, the music I think we need to like continue to highlight, because like the Hollow Knight soundtrack still plays like rent free in my head. And already like Eric was just playing one of the songs from Silksong. I was like, oh my God, this reminds me so much of like my favorite song from regular Hollow Knight. So I can't wait until I experience that in the game at some point, because you know it's gonna hit hard when they drop that beat.
This game also seems like it is very much about music in a cool way.
Yes,
there's so many
characters
musical elements. Yeah, there's I mean, Silksong is in the name. You see the fast travel is a thing that has to do with a bunch of bells. There are characters who are singing, like some of them, like the map lady is singing this kind of like Eastern European song, and that's how you find her. She's kind of like the what was it, Cornifer from the original game. And there's other characters who are like trying to use their voice and their song in order to open doors and stuff. And so it's cool that it seems like that is going to be a strong kind of thematic through line through the game. But yeah, like I said, I'm also pretty early, but just really enjoying it. And, I also think it's kind of cool that they didn't send it out to anyone, that we're not inundated with all these reviews and everything. And I mean, granted, I'm sure already on YouTube people are posting stuff, but it just feels like everyone's experiencing this for themselves right now, which is cool. I don't know. We don't get games like that a lot.
It's very much feels like an event. Like it's
a great way to put
Silksong Day.
It's better for how much people have hyped it up.
Yeah, and I mean we saw those Steam concurrents, and like I don't know where it's at now, but I think it peaked at like over 500,000 concurrents. I think it was like it touched in like the number 2 or number 3 slot on Steam after stuff like Counter-Strike and Dota, and it's a Thursday afternoon, evening. Like imagine what it's going to look like tomorrow night and through the weekend, and that's just Steam. That's not counting Game Pass where it is free. I was going to say
if it wasn't on PC Game Pass, I think those concurrents would have been over 1 million easily.
Sure, and it's also it's the number 1 game on Switch right now. It's probably the number 1 game on PlayStation right now. Like this is Casey, I think last night on the Jack stream, people were talking about like is this the biggest Metroidvania? It just seems like, well, yeah, this seems like one of those.
Yeah, I think this might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were asking that before, like if any Metroidvania kind of reached mainstream status. Silksong, like even more so than Hollow Knight, because like we said, Hollow Knight is a big deal in terms of people of the know. Like my mom or like my fiance wouldn't know. I'm sorry, my wife wouldn't know what Hollow Knight is, but they would know what like a Halo is, right?
Yeah.
Like Silksong has the potential, especially after this release, especially if it's really really good, because there are no reviews out now and people are still in early hours. But if this is like, if it's at least reaching the same level, like this might make it a household name.
I'm curious. I'm in a football thread with a lot of my normie friends, and we also talk about video games. And so this weekend is like football starts tonight, NFL starts tonight. But I'm very curious if any of them, because they'll often drop in games and ask me about that. And I'm like, I wonder if this is going to permeate any of their lives. If this will like be able to crack through, because it's seemingly on the front page of all the game stores. So, but yeah, very cool. We'll obviously have a ton more on Silksong. Jay's working on a design delve. Yahtzee's working on a fully Ramblematic. We'll have streams. We'll have video essays. All that good stuff. Really looking forward to that. A couple more super chats that came in during that. Polio over in Ko-Fi. Thank you so much. Polio said Jersey is actually the Garden State. Best tomatoes west of Italy. Is that true? Best tomatoes?
I think so. I absolutely love the tomatoes here. Like,
yeah,
tomatoes, absolutely amazing.
Love it. I love a tomato. Nothing but respect for that. I know it's the Garden State because of the hit film Garden State, starring Zach Braff and Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Apparently,
people hate that movie.
I think people turned on it. I think it's
like, when did I miss that boat? I
probably hasn't aged well, if I'm being honest. Like, if you watch it now, it's probably like, oh, Zach, you're being gross.
Like, I think one of the biggest criticisms was like some manic pixie
dream girl
type, dream girl type tropes. But like, honestly, get over it. It was a different time.
But also stuff like I like 500 Days of Summer and I like Scott Pilgrim. I like shit that kind of deals in that. So whatever. Get Ben. I don't know who I told that to. I don't know why I got mad at Polio. Polio, you didn't deserve that. I didn't tell you to get Ben. You can stay as angled as you want. S6 with $5 Thank you so much. I have not played Hollow Knight. The art style looks okay-ish. What is Hollow Knight's appeal? Gameplay? I adored Ori, but I wonder if it was just the music and art. I mean, I think that's a little bit of everything. I do think it's aesthetic. Like, it's a slightly acquired taste, I will say. It feels like the ultimate evolution of Newgrounds. Like, this game started as kind of like a Flash game. And Hollow Knight feels like as good looking as you can make that style. And I mean that complimentary. I don't mean that as an insult.
Yeah, if you're not excited by like hand-drawn art, like I'm a big fan of animation. So like cartoons is my jam. Sure. So like that was a big appeal to me, is that this was like one of the early ones of like, oh, this game looks like a cool cartoon. Like I would like to play that. But all those other factors, it does hit. Like the gameplay is immaculate. The level design, the atmosphere, the music is phenomenal. Like it checks all those boxes. So like if you are a little curious, I would say, and it's still worth it, go back, give it a shot.
Yeah, just want to compare it to Ori because it is way more difficult than Ori.
Is it? I don't know. I never finished Ori. Like I kind of got bored playing Ori.
Ori. The Ori games are
than the first Ori.
Really?
First Ori was kind of hard. Second Ori was pretty easy.
The Ori games aren't very hard at all.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think my last playthrough of Hollow Knight was kind of easy.
Oh,
but granted, I stopped when I rolled regular credits because I'm like, I don't want to do the hard stuff. Watch that. I got to credits. That's pretty much being done. It's funny about that. Steady Goblinwood over in the Patreon has been chronicling. He was in a very similar position a few weeks ago and asked us for tips about how to sort of try to give it one last try. Said follow up because at this point I'm committed. Found Nailmaster Shio, defeated 3 warrior dreams, and made my way to the Ancient Basin. I haven't thrown in the towel yet. I want to get this Silksong just like everyone else. You're doing great, Steady Goblinwood. Keep on keeping on. Listen, if you're in the Ancient Basin, you can beat this game. If you can get all the way down to that shithole, you can finish this game. That place sucks. It doesn't even have colors down there. What are we doing down there? Any place, and I think the Ancient Basin is where they just cut the sound out. And I'm like, there's no music. I'm like, this place is awful. Yeah.
It's
music doesn't even exist down here. That was a Hollow Knight 1 thing. That's not a Hollow Knight 2. We're not doing spoilers there. Shinzu Akachi, thank you so much for a 10-pound dono. Said, played up to the quote-unquote skirt power, trying not to spoil, so still early, but areas so far feel a bit more linear, less maze-like than the original. Not necessarily a criticism, though. Would you agree?
I got that vibe almost right away from just the opening of the game.
The very opening, the intro, I will say, is very linear. It is very much like we'll lead you through this thing that kind of teaches you basic mechanics, and then I would say the first hour, 90 minutes.
That makes sense. Linear. It does seem much more straightforward than. Like generally, especially 2D Metroidvanias will put roadblocks right in your face as like a form of tradition. They're like, hey, remember this area, you'll get something that'll let you come back later. And like, they're kind of not playing at that, and that is always annoying. So like, I'm kind of fine with that as a change.
Mm-hmm.
So I call it an improvement.
Nice. There you go. We'll get to the rest of the super chats shortly. Did want to touch on the other news bit, which was the 007 First Light presentation. That was, I guess, Sony has the marketing deal for this, so it was a state of play, which were the Sony presentations. This was like this is a beefier presentation than I expected. It gave the news that the game will be out March 27th. So
My birthday.
I think this. Oh, nice! There you go, HBD.
Yeah.
If you pay $10 extra, you can play it 24 hours early, pre-HBD.
Oh.
So there you go. And if you pay $300, you could get a special edition, which looks like it comes with a gun. I didn't zoom in on the image, but I was like, this has to be something that is not a gun, because it looks like it came with a golden gun.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't do that. I know you can't release Mind's Eye and then a year later go to jail for releasing a gun.
I got a press thing not too long ago that literally gave me a like straight up blade.
This can't be
like a really sharp pocket knife.
What are we doing? But yeah, the lengthy presentation had the first half of it was pretty much a demo, just a straight demo. It had like one cut in the middle, but other than that, there was no commentary over it. And it showed what looked like, I mean, as we expected, it looked like a big open Hitman level with kind of the AAA Bond aesthetic onto it. It had driving, it had story stuff, it had the kind of choose your own adventure when you get inside this. It was like a big to-do at like a fancy European chateau, chalet, castle. One of those words.
It's all those things.
One of those French words. Castle, a famous French word. And it looks like there's a bunch of different ways you can go about things. You can set kind of traps to either incapacitate or distract a guard. You could steal their keys to get in. You could steal someone's lighter and light some leaves on fire to create a distraction to sneak into this place. There's kind of different identities you can take by overhearing people. And so that seems like the one portion of the game. When shit pops off, a thing pops up that says you have been granted a license to kill, and that's when you can start killing people, which I think is kind of cool that you can't like kill a random butler and stuff him in a closet, because it's like, well, that guy didn't do anything. Like, you need to have someone pull a gun on you to be given a license to kill. And then the combat itself felt really cool and kinetic. I was telling you last night, Casey, it reminded me a little bit of Sifu in terms of how you were interacting with like objects in the environment, like a pool table or smashing someone against a glass. And then the last portion was some driving portions that felt like they were kind of cinematic, guided, like chase scenes. Yeah. So a little bit of like Uncharted there. So I thought, barring some performance hiccups, which partly I was like, well, I'm glad you're actually showing the game, and another part of me was like, oh, I'm surprised you allowed this in a presentation.
Yeah, like you mentioned that before I'd seen it. And I was like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like that crazy. Like, they're kind of showing you that they have a thing that is actually running and not bullshitting you. But like a good portion of the presentation was pretty choppy in a way that felt like, you couldn't have tweaked that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you didn't fake it.
They got 6 months to go. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And I trust them, I guess. Sure. I trust them.
I don't think the
recall Hitman
always
having any performance. I mean, but they also were not big cinematic bombastic.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, let us not forget they published Mind's Eye. So that's a very different thing. I talked a lot about
money. That's all that means.
I think it looks cool. Agreed. But ultimately, they allowed the game to be released. Yeah, Casey, what did you think of the presentation?
I like where this is going. Like, I'm a big fan of Hitman in theory, but like I haven't put a ton of time into the more recent versions. Like, I played through all of, I want to say, Absolution, and then like just messed around a tiny bit with some of the contract stuff. Was that what they called it? Or World of Assassination stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't put a ton of time into like their newer model for how they do it, but like I've always loved the idea. Hitman also is like a lot more slow paced and methodical because it spends a lot of time crafting the sim. I kind of like that they're making it a little more arcadey. It's like, okay, there's sim stuff here, but sure, it's okay to break into a big gunfight. And then, yes, you're going to have a kind of bombastic action scene because that's more action movie like. And that is what Bond does. It did seem a bit over the top with just how many explosions, and explosions are big in this game. Like, stuff just
you're in an
goes
airport
off.
and you shoot one barrel, and all of a sudden, like, an entire wing of the airport has blown up. And you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, like, it's a lot. Like, it escalates quite quickly. But I think that's fine. Like that just dials up the fun. The thing it reminded me the most of was actually probably my favorite Bond game outside of GoldenEye, which is the legendary game, is Everything or Nothing. Like the EA game that they released. And like I feel like no one really talks about it, but it was a really good third-person James Bond game. Like they had like a bunch of like real-world actors in it, just like this does. It had a great story. It had music by Maya.
I remember
like
that. She did the theme song. Willem Dafoe was the bad guy, I think.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was the bad guy.
Yeah.
So it was really, really fun. And this seems a lot like that. Like that even had like drive-in sections and stuff as well. So I am 100% on board for like an Everything or Nothing 2. Even though they kind of did one, which was I think From Russia with Love with Sean Connery, but I think that one wasn't as good.
Yeah. Nick, I want to get your impressions in a second. But we had another Patreon comment from Inverse Skies that kind of went along with that said, is it inevitable that every James Bond game is compared to GoldenEye 64? I feel with other releases, it's always been the yardstick by which they're measured by, or does the new game do enough to differentiate itself from the game that defined James Bond video games on console to not be able to be compared? Nick, do you feel like this kind of stands as its own? Do you think this stands in the shadow of GoldenEye? GoldenEye was also 30 fucking years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Jesus.
I mean, they're adding in the full spy investigation experience pulling in from Hitman, so that makes it unique enough for me. And like just watching that, I was like, basically, this looks like James Bond Uncharted, but also with more advanced gameplay, of like investigation and openness and all that. So I'm all on board. I just I guess I'm not that concerned about it because Hitman plays really well. So, there was nothing about that presentation that said I would not want to play this.
My concern is not concern trolling, but just a noticeable thing. Like I very rarely comment on the performance of a game in presentations. And so that is a rare time where I'm like, you showed that to everyone. That wasn't like a behind closed doors for press. Like you showed that to everyone.
And it was a lengthy amount of stutter, like almost through the entire opening driving section, and then the chase scene afterwards. It was chugging.
Yeah,
and that it's noticeable. It's a thing that you can't ignore when it's kind of that prevalent throughout the presentation.
Yeah, I guess I'd rather see it now and not at release.
Listen, I agree. I would rather have this than some. This looked like someone was playing this video game the entire time. I would never question that they weren't. I don't know. Maybe they should have just thrown a word of like, we know there's some performance hiccups.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about it. That was the other thing.
A note at the beginning of saying,
like, always to me is like, well,
performance is a work in progress.
Yeah. But the game looks cool. I do. I like the guy the kid who's playing Bond, or young man who's playing Bond. Jesus, how old am I? The actor who's playing Bond. It's like a younger Bond. It kind of is like. Apparently, he played young Dexter in a young Dexter show that I wasn't fully.
Didn't
sure
that
existed.
Just come out and get canceled?
So apparently, there's two Dexter shows. Dexter.
Well, there's a new Dexter. There's like a Dexter with old Dexter.
With
they made a Dexter prequel where he played prequel Dexter, and I believe prequel Dexter got canceled.
Bond is Dexter? I didn't realize.
Bond is prequel Dexter, yeah. I mean, Bond could be a regular Dexter too. He seems kind of like he's literally a serial killer. He kills so many people in that airport.
Yeah.
There's probably just a dude
who blew up a lot
like,
of people.
There's a dude who's like riding like the little luggage cart, who's just like, gotta get the bags to the plane, and then he's like, oh, I blew up. Now my kids don't have a dad. That sucks. A couple Patreon comments came in related to this, including Andrew Whitewinter, thank you so much, said, what impact will Amazon acquiring the Bond franchise have on the game? Since the contract was signed prior to the acquisition, are they in the clear? So that is the thing I've seen.
I don't think it's anything, because they just got the film rights, right?
I don't know that. I don't think this game has anything. I don't think they have any say over this game. The logo is going to be, Amazon's going to be on there. It was on the logo on the presentation, but like this game was in production and everything long before the Broccoli family sold it to MGM and Amazon. So yeah, I don't know going forward. Like, I don't know if Bond is in a weird rights place like the Lord of the Rings bullshit, where we're like, I own the even pages and Bezos owns the odd pages, like that kind of bullshit. But yeah, I don't think, at least for now, this feels like its own thing without interference by Bezos. which is good because he
until,
is just
until
a
Amazon
real-life
just buys
Bond.
IO Interactive if this does well.
But they still have oversight, is my guess. Like they're not interfering with it because it was a thing that was coming, but like it's still theirs in the grand scheme, like that sort of thing.
Well, they're not even publishing it, are they?
No,
No.
IO is publishing their own game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it is. Secret Level Season 2. We'll have a Bond short featuring this Bond that will not have anything to do with the Denis Villeneuve Bond movie that Amazon is currently making.
And that's completely
Can you
okay.
can you imagine if this game winds up being a backdoor pilot for a new young Bond like series of movies? Like this actor who's in the game just
Or
gets
Baby Dexter?
drafted as Bond in
Or
the
little Baby
Amazon
D?
movies.
I still
That would be
think
nuts.
I mean, I don't think that's out of the question if people really like
Yeah,
the
it's
character
not.
in the game. Yeah.
They might
I
do
mean,
that. Yeah.
I still think Amazon's ultimate plan is into the Bondverse. Is they want to, granted, most of those men are dead. Is they want to do a thing where they can bring all those Bonds together.
No, please don't
They're
do
gonna
that.
Oh no.
Drag the corpses
Because they
of
have
all
a
those.
no way home Bond movie.
Most of them are dead though.
I really
matter.
hope so. Yeah, they don't matter.
So is Green Goblin.
CG the shit out of you.
Jeez.
I really hope they don't do that. God, that would be such a bad idea.
I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, you put that idea
gonna-
into the world. Like I
don't want it to happen.
I don't want that to happen.
Ishterical, thank you so much, said the James Bond trailer had a lot of action, but do you think they'll include some fun gadgets as well? If so, what gadget do you want them to include? I'm partial to the shoe knife. This isn't a gadget. Bond is all horned up always. And there needs to be some kind of either flirting or seducing to get some info. There's got to be a little bit of necking that you can do, right? He's always necking.
That is his MO.
Yeah.
But he's young. Maybe he's too like maybe this is a virgin Bond.
Saving himself for marriage? This is a Christian Bond?
Now we're reaching far here.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure there'll be some googly eyes left and right. I doubt there's going to be some sort of like wooing system because like they showed how this certain situation can go like several different ways. Like you can choose to do this and it goes this way. You can choose to do that, it goes another way, right? I would like it if they're like, oh, you could woo this person and it helps you out, or you could screw up the conversation and it screws you over or whatever. Like I would love if
throw
that
a drink
was
in your face
way,
and walk away and you're
yeah.
like,
I would love if they incorporate something like that, and I think that would be enough.
yeah. I want to be able to flirt with your the people in your ear to the point to where they can become bad at their jobs because they're focused on flirting with you. And then it's like, oh, you totally lost track of the guy you were supposed to surveil because you were too busy flirting with Bond.
Oh, sorry, Bond. There's a guy pointing a gun at the back of your head. I should have told you about that a couple minutes ago.
shit, our bad. But yeah, it's cool that slowly but surely next year, especially the first couple months of the year, are being fleshed out. Obviously, we have Resident Evil 9 in February and this in March. Unsurprising. I mean, the first couple months of the year have been getting busier and busier, pretty much.
Grand Theft Auto May.
Every year. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I mean, it's not really
so far,
May, right? That's September.
November.
I feel good about 2026 for Grand Theft Auto. I don't feel good about May. God, that is insane. Grand Theft Auto is theoretically that soon. If it was this,
I mean,
they
might push it again. You don't know.
If it took us 20 minutes to buy Silksong today, imagine how long it's going to take to buy Grand Theft Auto.
A year.
I'll just wait till the next day. Yeah, like...
I'll just steal it. In the spirit of the game, I'll steal it. That'll be fine.
You don't need to buy $60.
It's fine. A couple more super chats before we get to the wealth of things we've been playing and watching. Blistered Soul with a 2-pound dono. Thank you so much. Said 7 hours played on Switch 1, buyable 5 minutes after launch. Has it even been 7 hours since this morning?
Yeah.
Incredible.
They've been playing since this morning.
Incredible. That's amazing.
Jeez.
You know what? That's why it pays. You go to midnight the night before a game comes out, get a catheter put in. You don't have to go to the bathroom. You got a tube coming out of your pee hole.
Just play naked and then go to the bathroom, stand in front of it, and then
just play in the shower. You can be in the shower. No one's going to judge you.
Don't take your eyes off the switch as you use the bathroom.
It's your shower. It's fine. We don't need no badges with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. I heard NPR News reporting on Silksong today. Wild. That feels pretty mainstream.
Yeah, I think it might be there.
Okay, so we know
I'll ask my dad if he's played it.
Did Newsmax report on it though?
Oh god. It's the devil.
Yeah.
Breitbart.
Are bugs the new Satan?
I want to know what Ben Shapiro thinks of Silksong. I don't actually. I want that man.
I heard that's what Alex Jones was ranting about today. That it took 2 hours to download. Silksong.
He would absolutely. I'm pretty sure Silksong's got a frog that makes you gay, so he would love this game. I've met 2 frogs already that I'm assuming that are gay in this game.
Oh no.
The man in black with a $20 dono. Thank you so much. I said if Silksong didn't get announced this year, Marty owed me my $20 back. Lo and behold, it's real. Have another $20. Thank you so much, man in black.
We got doubled or nothing.
We got doubled or nothing, which is great because we've partially updated. I think the Donkey Kong is still not updated.
Fix Donkey Kong, yeah.
Couldn't able to do it. But yeah, I dropped a link to our fantasy critic. Our new picks are in there. We need some minor Kong changes, but things are looking good. I'm gonna be honest, looking a little tighter. And granted, I'm still way in the bottom, but I think it's tighter. Sometimes it's gonna be like 100 points. Kong, imagine everything will be fine. I'm excited for this though. I think this will be a fun rest of the year for the fantasy critic.
Previews were relatively positive on Borderlands 4, so I'm thinking that'll be a solid 85.
That's like soon, right?
Yeah, next week.
Jesus,
what?
Eight
Are you guys gonna play Borderlands? Like Casey, you were like a Borderland man at one point, right?
I've really loved that series. Like 3 annoyed the holy shit out of me. Like I felt betrayed by 3, honestly. And then Wonderland was like, okay.
When they announced Borderlands 4, they specifically mentioned like the writing is better. So we'll see. We'll see.
I owe it to my history with it to give it a shot. But yeah, I don't have like any level of excitement for it, but I will give it a shot.
I've got Borderlands 4 and Ball Pit coming up right away, and then Karen and Demon School wrap me up in November.
That's good.
Okay.
But Casey, you've got Ninja Gaiden 4, you've got Final Fantasy Tactics, which is this month.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4, which theoretically
could be pushed
this year, right? Metroid Prime doesn't have a release date. It seems like a lot of scuttlebutt is saying a week from today or tomorrow. It can't be today. They can't do a 9/11 direct. But I think 9/12 we're going to get a Nintendo direct. I think we'll get the release date next Friday
for Metroid Prime.
Oh, I just noticed Casey, his CPK was hell as us, and he lost 9 points for that one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, everyone loses points on those. Like I lost 10 points because I did Night Rain, and I stand behind the Night Rain thing. No one cares about Night Rain. No one's talking about Night Rain. People aren't coming up to me with tears in their eyes talking about Night Rain. I beat the Night Rain. I'm like, what do you get out of here? I don't care.
People liked it. That's all that matters.
It doesn't matter. You know what people really want? People want Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, and Grand Theft Auto 6. They don't get either of them. And it sucks for them. Also, when you said CPK, the first thing I thought of was the same thing as Speakeasy, which was California Pizza Kitchen. Shout out to the real CPK.
I just don't like that as a concept.
What?
It's not good
California pizza.
Wait a minute. It's not California Pizza. It is the California Pizza Kitchen. It's a pizza kitchen that happens to be situated in California.
It's also not good pizza.
Not great pizza, but it's fine like convention center pizza.
It's not even
What are we doing?
It's bad pizza. That's what
it's just bad pizza.
It's bad pizza? CPK?
Bad pizza.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone get off.
I see that box and I run away.
It's not the box. I'm going to
Tombstone.
the CPK. I'm going to the CPK. Miss Harmony, we're not talking about CKY. That's the Bam Margera band. 99 like bitter spirits, or what was it? Remember that song from one of the Tony Hawks?
No.
99.
Bam Margera was in a band?
I think it was like his brother in a band called CKY.
That's even worse.
It is a little worse. Last couple super chats before we talk about the things we've been playing. S6, thank you so much for another $5 Australian. Thanks to Casey's eloquent and thoughtful response on gameplay and music in Hollow Knight. It sold me. And then Nick's blunt, it's harder than Ori, unsold me. Hashtag teamwork. But I came in and was like, is it harder than Ori with a question mark? Not remembering the first Ori. So S6, if I was able to get through Hollow Knight, it doesn't have difficulty settings. I was able to get through it. You're fine. I was playing most of it with the X-Files on in the background. It's fine.
It's got built-in like bumpers, like bowling alley bumpers, with the charm system. Like, just use a guide, get yourself with some neat charms, and it'll help you out in the tough fights.
You'll be fine. Or get a Game Shark. People don't buy Game Sharks anymore, and that's the problem. If you put a Game Shark in your console, you get all the codes. Nick, did you ever own a Game Shark or a Game Genie?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Game Shark. That was the most convoluted way to do review or cheat codes.
It was like you had to like learn to code and put in all these numbers.
Well, like wasn't there like an attachment for the Game Boy Advance SP that you had to put on the back to use the Game Shark?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. I didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, it definitely felt very hacky. I borrowed one from a friend forever ago to try it out, and like I didn't like it.
That was the original. That you know what? Game Shark original microtransactions.
Oh shit. The original microtransactions. I like it. And then Captain President with the $10 dono. Thank you so much, Captain Prez. Silksong isn't real until MAGA calls it woke. Listen, I actually have a theory that MAGA might call this game woke. I don't want to spoil anything. This is not even a...
How's it a spoiler, though?
This sounds insane. I think Hornet might have a love interest in the game, and it might be a woman.
Oh.
I'm not giving any spoilies.
Okay.
I think okay, let me say this. I think there's gonna be a hardcore graphic sex scene in the game.
Oh.
Using all of Hornet's 8 arms. The woman I've met. I think it's gonna be very nice. The first part of that was real, the second part of that was not real. But there's other games aside from this, right?
Actually, yeah. So a surprising number of people were like, you know what? F it. I'm just launching.
Please talk about something that isn't this. Nick, let's start with you. On your vacation last week, you got to play and finish a bunch of relatively short games, new games. So tell us about those.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just go in order that I went from the title. Cronos: A New Dawn, finished that. I know Yahtzee was very harsh on it. Yahtzee did not like it. He found it too difficult. I agree with him that the story is kind of convoluted, and once again, Bluebird Team's strong suit is not in their writing. And this one's kind of a bit... Yeah, I was trying to pitch a topic to Yahtzee to talk about like kind of high concept stories where they're like cryptic in the way they kind of give you the story. We were trying to figure out how to best describe stories like this, but almost like kind of like Dark Souls stories where like there's a lot of dialogue. It doesn't really make a lot of sense until you look it up after or something like that. Mm-hmm. Cronos is kind of like that, where it just like you understand you understand what's going on generally, but as far as like getting an actual narrative in there, it's not it's not great. maybe other people will really get it if they really spend the time reading all the notes and the audio logs and everything that kind of fill in a lot of the story.
Well, what is like the 100-foot view premise? Like why are you Cronosing a New Dawn?
Yeah. So the general premise is that experiments were taking place and something happened, and these Geiger-looking characters are called the Travelers, and they are sent through these time rifts to try to extract people that can give them the information to solve the problem. That's the general hook. And there's a lot of religious overtones and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of a lot. It's really interesting, just like as a game narrative. I don't think it all really came together to be super engaging as like a story you want to like see through to the end kind of thing. Uh-huh. So I more enjoy it. I love the atmosphere of the game. I actually really like the combat. I'm gonna take a gander that Yahtzee probably straight lined this thing to get the review done and didn't do much off the beaten path exploring and getting upgrades and stuff like that. So I did. So I never really ran into a lot of issues with finding ammo and stuff like that. The way I was describing the game to people that were asking me on Blue Sky was like, if you put the Callisto Protocol as like a C tier Dead Space game, this is like B tier. Dead Space combat is still leagues above Cronos with, being able to dismember everything and the physics involved and all that, and that made it a lot of fun. These enemies are grotesque like they are in Dead Space, but it doesn't really have the same type of gore system that Dead Space had, where it gets very strategic with the combat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really interesting game. I'd say it's a good game. I just wouldn't say it's a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only put about 90 minutes into this, and I want to put more time into it. I think the atmosphere is really strong right off the bat. The combat very much to me just feels like very familiar Dead Space in terms of aiming at the limbs, and has a little bit of like make sure you take care of bodies with fire. That reminded me a little bit of the Resident Evil 1 remake with having to burn the zombies before they turned into Crimson Heads. I was somewhat intrigued by the story. I had no idea it was about any of those things. I assumed it was like a Chernobyl, like, well, we had a meltdown and made monsters. I didn't realize it was about time traveling beasties or anything. Yeah, I mean, does this, like we were talking before about like, where does kind of the stock of Bloober Team go with, it seems like with Silent Hill 2, it really like shot up, like, oh, they're in a new level, like, and then this is their follow-up original thing. Like, do you think that, do you still think they're on like a positive trajectory, or do you think this was like kind of like a backsliding into the medium layers of fear stuff that people kind of rolled their eyes at?
I think they're a game away from really getting it. I really think they are. Like Silent Hill 2, obviously they had a foundation to work from, but they improved it in a lot of ways for a lot of people. Maybe some hardcore fans of the original didn't like it as much, whatever. Cronos to me feels like it just feels like they need one more round of polishing their gameplay mechanics, making everything feel really good, shooting wise, fighting wise, and everything, and then just get some new writers at the studio, because like the Medium had these same problems too, where it was just too. Their narratives always kind of try to seem like highbrow artsy, and they just don't pull it off well.
Yeah, and they stuff a lot of like audio logs and things to read that are just kind of like just washes over you. You're like, this isn't real. This isn't like providing anything super interesting.
And it's not like, if you go back to like the original Dead Space, it's not like the narrative was super deep in that game either, but it was clear enough that you understood what is going on in the adventure. And then it gets really weird in 2 and 3, but
and I think it kind of goes off the tracks when it starts becoming like too much about
the whole religious zealots.
Yeah, I think Isaac being like a random workman who has to deal with this shit, I think is good enough. That's very much an Alien kind of premise that works for me. So you don't need to go too much further.
Yeah. So I mean, like you can feel like this looks AAA. I don't think it is. Like it's still that AA level, which I'm actually talking about, and I'm back tomorrow. But I think, if this does well, and I think this universe has a lot of potential. It's really interesting. They just need to, I guess, keep it simple, stupid with the narrative. Like, like just tell me a good story. It doesn't need to be highbrow, artsy, all that nonsense. Just tell me a good survival horror story.
Tell me a story about a dude who suffocates his wife with a pillow. That's all I want. That was a Silent Hill 2 spoiler. It's fine. It's 25 years. Whatever. You're fine. He's a bad dude anyways. Where is he?
Sorry.
So
what else?
You
think it's okay to suffocate your wife with a pillow? You can't be doing that.
No, I said it's okay that he's a bad dude.
Listen, I don't condone suffocating a wife with a pillow, but it's fine to have stories about bad dudes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So Cronos, what else have you played?
Yeah, I'm actually not going to go in order. I'll wrap with my favorite of the three. But I played and finished Metal Eden as well, which is the new game from the Ruiner developers. That was a top-down kind of cyberpunk, very gritty shooter. But Metal Eden is still cyberpunk futuristic. but a first-person shooter, and it plays a lot like Doom Eternal. Very movement focused. Very movement focused. Very straightforward. There's some off the beaten path, like go find these little upgrades or extra lives or anything. But it is a very, very straightforward. You shoot shit, you go to the next level, and that's it. And I really like the gameplay of it. It's another game just like Cronos, where the story was too highbrow for its own good. I never really gotten invested in it, and I think a lot of reviews echoed that same sentiment, where like, what the fuck is going on? I really don't know. Clearly, it's about like this world, obviously Eden, right? It's about this world that was supposed to be basically a new bastion of humanity kind of thing, and corruption and all that nonsense, makes it not work. And so like these beings are the founders of it, the technicians of it, I guess, and they can't agree on how things should be. But the story is weird. It's weird. It's interesting. It's well acted. Like the voice work is really good. Just can't say like by the end of it, I was like, I don't really understand what the fuck just happened. But if you want like a really solid, just first person shooter, I would say go for this one. Like this one's a lot of fun. Very short though. I finished it, I think, in under 5 hours.
Oh wow.
Nice. This is a campaign. This isn't any roguelike-y stuff, right?
No. Full on just straight up level based campaign. But
Great.
Very
is this
short.
on consoles? Or do I have to play this
It's on consoles. It's on consoles.
Yes.
Yeah, I played it all on PS5. It's
I think
$40,
this is also on
$40.
Game Pass, right?
I don't think they added this one to Game Pass.
I don't think it's on
No?
Game Pass. No.
I don't think so.
That'd be very exciting if it was.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun for what it is. I don't know if I'd pay $40 for it. I think they should have priced this at $30.
Would you pay $35.99 because that's what it currently is on Xbox?
I probably would have paid $30, but
Okay,
there's not a
there
lot.
you go.
There's not a lot of replayability to it. So unless you like really dig it,
But I
it's
do.
like such
I
a
do
strong
like a
vision
shooter
for a
game.
game. It's really good. Gameplay wise, and it's like got really strong vision. The visuals are really interesting and neat.
Is this the game right now that Eric's showing?
Cutscenes from it, they have like fully CG cutscenes in it that look really good. Yeah,
I just didn't know. In my mind, the game wasn't brown. It's cool to see that. I like brown games.
No, it's not brown.
Well, this cutscene is brown. I didn't realize
this
this cutscene
cutscene
brown
is
in
very
the game.
brown.
This cutscene's extremely brown. You can't tell when this cutscene's not brown. That's one of the primary colors of that cutscene. Oh, that's not brown. Get that out of here. Casey, have you played this at all, or are you thinking about going in here?
No, I was going to boot this up.
Then Silksong.
And
then Silksong.
And then I got sucked back into because Silksong didn't come out till this morning. So like last night I was going to boot this up, but then I went back to the thing that I've been playing for like a bunch of hours. But I don't know. I don't think we're at me yet, so I won't talk about it just yet.
Yeah, no, I'm curious about this. In case, and Nick, what else did you play?
The final game I played, which I have added to my favorite games of the year, is Hell Is Us, which was high up on my my fantasy list as a game to watch this year, and it hit all the expectations that I wanted for it. Yet again, another game that maybe narratively isn't super strong, but the big hook of Hell Is Us is you're placed into this world, and you are given no map, no compass, no quest markers or anything, and it's kind of an investigation puzzle game with action combat, is the way I would describe it. And I really just enjoyed the hell out of this game. The atmosphere is impeccable for it. A lot of the reviews are kind of mixed on the combat. I think it's fine. I knew going in, this is a mid-tier budget game again, so I wasn't expecting, Elden Ring or Dark Souls level of variety. I would say, the enemies you see on screen, there's only like those like white abomination things. There's like 5 variations of that, but then they all have like these different things that they spawn out, and there's quite a few variations of that add to the challenge and make the combat pretty difficult at some points. But you get like abilities and everything. What's that?
Like what does the combat feel like? Like what's the closest analog?
It plays like a Souls-like combat.
Okay,
you
so
got
like
parrying.
Methodical.
It's methodical, but it's also you also unlock like abilities for your weapons that you would find in like a spectacle action game, like spinning your sword around and doing basically over the head strikes and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So it's an interesting mix. But the reason to play the game though is just for the exploring and the puzzles and putting everything together. And I'm working on a script right now about what I think is the most interesting part of the game is the puzzles aren't really, turn this lever, do this, do that, like you would in a lot of other puzzle games. They're actually much more knowledge-based puzzle game. Or this is a lot more knowledge and like information-based puzzles. And so like, yeah, you'll turn like symbols and stuff like that. But to get to that, you need to explore and pay attention to. Some puzzles have you pay attention to like paintings and reading the captions and understanding like how these numbers and dates and even how these life events of a king all play together. And then that ties to the puzzle that you do. And the game isn't open world either. It's broken up into areas. And a lot of times you'll find something in an area like a gate with a symbol on it, and you can't get there, and you won't be able to get into that until you're way later in the game. And then you just stumble upon a key and you're like, oh shit, that opens up that gate. I remember where that is back there, because they do a really good job of making their landmarks distinct and signposty so that you kind of remember like, oh yeah, that was a snake symbol with 2 heads. I found that back in this area. I'm going to go back there and go see where this leads me to. And then that leads you into a whole dungeon and this whole, maze of a new area of part of a map that you thought you were kind of already done with. It's really, really well designed in that way that we're like, you see a gate, you see, a part of the map that you can't get to yet. And you're like, I want to know what's up there. And then you get that puzzle piece later and you're like, oh shit, I can go back and finally go see what's up there. And I love that about the game.
Mm. Yeah, I've heard several people describe it in kind of the same way in terms of like the combat and the story are whatever, but it is the actual exploration that is like the thing this game really excels at. And all that stuff sounds like one of those games where it's like it's given a certain score, but there's an element of it that is incredibly good that like punches way above its weight class. And I always think that's interesting of a game that could do something like that extremely well.
Yeah, if you remember earlier this year, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was one of my favorite games of the year because I would just stumble into these whole quests and storylines that I wasn't expecting. And this kind of does that too, except in like a more of a puzzly aspect. And so the other part that I really loved is, on that information aspect of leading you to puzzles, like so many games give you the lore of the world and documents and audio logs, and they're kind of useless aside unless you're really that interested in learning more about it. Well, they tie those things into actually solving the puzzles and understanding what you're exploring and what these things are, because it's like the game is set in the modern time, right? But you're exploring these ruins and things from thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago. And so the lore is actively teaching you kind of the history of these places you're exploring as you're solving the puzzles that is also tied to that lore. I just think that's really fucking unique that like you finally found a use for the lore beyond just giving me a note and having me not give a shit about it. And they even tie not only that lore into solving mysteries in the world that get you your upgrades, like doing the fetch quests for people, like they call them good deeds in the game. Those good deeds are how you get your upgrades for these things called glyphs that basically give you passive upgrades as you go. So everything kind of ties back into the progression of your character without any skill trees or anything like that. And I love it. I love that.
Do your good deeds go unpunished?
You can fail good deeds. If you don't do them
just like in real life.
Time. Yeah. The world does move forward after certain parts, but yeah, like I said, if you're looking for a game that like a really strong narrative, I wouldn't say Hell Is Us the game to go with. But if you love like the exploration of like Souls games and learning the maps and puzzles of like a Zelda dungeon, you'll like this. You will like it.
There you go. Hell Is Us.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, the only other game it's almost like I was working over break just playing all these games. But I finished Shinobi.
Yeah, you were also
Art of
slacking me.
Vengeance.
You shouldn't have done that. You were slacking us.
I'm
gonna be honest. If I go on vacation for a week, you are all dead to me as human beings. You don't exist. And then when I come back, I'm like, my friends are back.
I had to talk to somebody about all the games I was playing. But I finished Shinobi Art of Vengeance today.
Nice.
I really liked it. It was a good game. Casey, you would love this game.
Yeah, this is on my list to get to. Who knows when?
Yeah, and I really appreciated that it was just a straightforward linear action adventure game with optional challenges, platforming challenges, and combat challenges to do, and not a Metroidvania. So I was able to play it over like 10 hours, and I was done. I enjoyed that. Man. I'm glad I didn't have to spend 15 hours being confused by a map.
There you go. What time to be alive? The opposite of Hollow Knight.
And then, of course, over my vacation, I put even more hours in the rematch because I'm a sicko. So
you don't get to talk about rematch anymore. You talk about the soccer game enough.
Unless they introduce
crossplay launches tomorrow, or the next
unless they
days.
Introduce a new sport. Once they introduce a new sport, I will clear the stage. We can talk about whatever they want.
But they changed how priority works with extra effort, Marty.
Yeah, it's a big deal, Marty. It changes the whole meta,
Listen to yourself.
Marty.
How priority works with extra effort.
Marty, Christ. I have to keep my 1% status in the game.
Christ. Casey.
I need my new shoes, Marty.
You said you played a game last night that wasn't Metal Eden. I swear to God,
I really want to check
out. I just stepped into
it was a rematch. It was a rematch.
God. Yes.
It was a rematch.
I would have felt so goddamn done if I did that. What was the game?
I realized that Lost Soul Aside actually kind of launched a couple of days ago, and like no one was talking about it.
No,
but like it did give like a really good impression when it was showcased. I think at like a Sony State of Play, because it's following that trend of just a lot of just straight up, hey, this is a spectacle, single player action game thing, right? Like, and it's coming from an Eastern studio that's not Japan. Like I believe this is the Chinese Hero Project.
Yes,
it's
part of that initiative that they're doing. This game was originally being developed by one developer, and then Sony gave it funding, and now it was
I heard that.
Team. Yeah.
So Lost Soul Aside is essentially what you'd get if the biggest Devil May Cry fan in the world was like, I want to make DMC a little bit more like Final Fantasy, but like a tiny, like 2% more like Final Fantasy. The rest is just DMC. Like, let me get a little bit of Final Fantasy in there. Like, it does feel like something out of a single person's brain, for better or worse. Like, it's got a lot of style. It makes strong decisions. Essentially, the premise is you're this guy in this sort of you're in a land that is under the oppression of an empire, right? And you're part of a resistance group. And you and people in the empire, just humans in general, they have people among them who are gifted, and gifted people just have superpowers. Like, they're bespoke superpowers. So like your guy is kind of just a little extra stronger, like a little more strong than other regular people. But then you meet a girl who can teleport, and there's another girl who can do something strange that you're not entirely sure of. But like, okay, people have superpowers. Great. We're a resistance group. We want to go fight the empire. Great. Here's our plan. We want to go take on the empire who's doing this parade. We're going to do a thing to rally the troops, and then aliens invade. And like, and then you get, it's like, wait, I thought we were doing a different thing here, but no, aliens invade. They're fighting everybody. Like, the empire's on the back foot, the resistance on the back foot. You get dropped into a pit or whatever, and you meet a dragon. That dragon fuses with you, and now you have superpowers. So like, you're just way stronger than you used to be because of this dragon guy. So like, it's kind of a whirlwind in the beginning, to the point where I'm like, this is off the rails. Like, I'm not enjoying any of this so far, but it's so kind of batshit insane that I kind of want to see where it goes. And then it starts to grow on you, because one, the combat in the game does start to take shape. Like, you get a sword, you start unlocking abilities, you get a second sword, like a great sword, and both of them can be switched between whenever you want. And as you get deeper on the skill tree, I really like the way it handles the escalation of moves, because you really only press two buttons. You press X for like light attacks, and then Y for heavy attacks. But depending on how you press them, and if you hold them, you'll do a thing like, okay, for X, for example, you'll do like 3 hits. When that combo finishes, the guy will glow, and then you can press a button that will launch kind of like a passive attack. Like, like either something will explode on the enemy or like a spectral blade will like start spinning in place and doing continual damage, and that allows you to do a second set of combos with like say the other weapon and doing a similar thing. So like you always feel like you can get really cool stuff going with minimal controller fingering. And usually I'm a fan of that. Like I like pressing all the buttons on a controller, but this feels really satisfying. It's like they're doing a lot more with less. And as you get more stuff in your skill tree, it kind of just increases how long it takes to get to things. Then you can start things up that then go on their own because they're like separate from you, and then like start doing extra combos while those things are going on. And you have powers from the dragon who's by your side as well. So combat starts to really get fun. And it has a good variety of enemies as well. There are weird, like there's a group of like guys in gold who like dematerialize and then like form together, and then they'll just be like a big foot and try to stomp on you, or like a big pair of arms and try to punch you out. And I just think that's weird and fun to fight against. They're like really big bosses that like, cover the whole arena. You have to like run from side to side. And it really feels like the fights and the battles and the stakes escalate like exponentially as things go on. So like it really draws me into just wanting to keep going to see how much bigger it gets. Cause I've put like 6, maybe 8 hours in so far. I just finished chapter 2. I have 2 weapons and I know there are at least 2 more. So if I'm able to switch, like I feel really strong with just the 2 weapons. So if you're able to just switch freely between all 4, like the amount of chaos on screen seems kind of broken. And to that effect, the game does seem kind of on the easy side. Like I've been kind of steamrolling a lot of the bosses, but it's still fun. Like I'm having a good time.
So the reviews are pretty negative on this one. I guess mostly
I can imagine
because the story, but like the actual levels and gameplay is fun.
It's getting more fun. Like it's all based on just what your character can do. Like I don't think there's a lot of challenge from the enemies themselves. Like there's a good variety. I think they're fun to look at and they have like cool things that they do, but they're not like a big challenge to you per se. But there is a system at work that keeps you occupied. Like you do have to think about it as you're doing it, but as long as you're doing that, you're kind of fine. Like it almost doesn't matter what the enemy's doing to you. Like every now and then you'll get like a blue circle that pops up, and if you hit the parry button, then you'll get like a big cinematic parry, and that helps, but like you kind of don't need it. You can just power through everything with just what you have at hand.
This game really reminds me of that Bright Memory game, which was like that really fancy looking FPS game that came out of China a few years ago. And it was like it looked like basically Chinese like Call of Duty, and it was fucking nuts, but it made no sense. Nothing about it made any sense, but it was kind of fun.
But yeah, it definitely feels janky in a lot of ways. Like character performances are, all over the place. Like your guy sounds terrible, but they're like a couple of the other characters you talk to sound fine. They're just oddities in terms of like there's one character who you speak to who is very clearly posing. Like she looks like she's a model on the runway, but she's just talking to you. Like, why is your hand out to the side over here as you're having a conversation with me? It's just odd. I don't know. Like this might be like, this isn't as insane as something like Wanted Dead, but it has a similar vibe of like, this feels like something from that era that Wanted Dead felt like that 360 era.
Weirdo action games, yeah.
Yeah, like this would be a forgettable DMC ripoff from decades ago, but here it is today with today's production value.
You intrigued me with that.
I mean, yeah, like
I'm a sucker for games that feel like
they
got lost in the cracks of time. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of that going on. And like it does have big set pieces and cut scenes and stuff that very much feel like the person who's behind it loved DMC dearly. So like for that alone, like if you're a fan of that sort of thing, it's probably worth your attention. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say like this is a game that you should play. It's like overall, it's probably not great, but it's not bad.
Sounds good.
It's interesting. Like, it's more than anything else. It is like it is holding my attention, and it is making me feel like I need to keep playing it, and so that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Like I'm not like annoyed by it in any real way. So
there you go.
That's the best. The best I can do in terms of recommendation.
Listen, everything can't be Silksong. Everything can't be having a great time with it. You need the games where you're kind of struggling with it a little bit in order to.
Like there's something there.
Yeah. You've been watching or playing anything else?
Yeah, I finally got around to starting the King of the Hill revival series.
Nice.
If you don't know, King of the Hill is back. They're picking up essentially with the cast about the same amount of time as when the series ended. So like what, 15, 20 years, something like that?
Probably not well 20. Over 20 years.
Is it King of the Hill ended 20 years ago? Why am I so effing old?
It's probably like, did King of the Hill like tackle 9/11? Oh no, I don't know. I might be way off. I don't think it did. 2009. Went to 2009. I don't know how time works. It went to 2009. I'm fucking toasted. I don't know how time works.
But it's really good. Like it very much feels exactly like how and it does the thing that a lot of these revival shows struggle with or have struggled with, is where it's like, oh, hey, we're in a new era, but we're from an older one. Let's apply our older sensibilities to these new topics. And there's a bit of like a clash. It feels like a cultural clash. But that was kind of always what King of the Hill was. Like Hank is like kind of this conservative, middle America. Like he just has his own way of thinking of the world. And it's always being challenged by liberal ideas or just things that he's uncomfortable with because he's so stringent. And like that's literally exactly what the joke is for any revival shows. Like, hey, and they do a good conceit for like why Hank kind of has to go through it all over again. Like Hank missed COVID in America because he and Peggy were in Saudi Arabia. He got a new job, was working as a contractor in like kind of this Americana-esque town for a big Saudi Arabia company.
Really?
So he spent all that time in a facsimile of America that felt perfect to him, but he was in Saudi Arabia the whole time.
And COVID didn't impact it?
Well, it was like
it
happened,
community?
But he wasn't in America, so he didn't know how it happened in America. He was in like the sort of isolated America idea in Saudi Arabia. So when he comes back, like just a lot of the remnants of it are things that he's uncomfortable with or like having to relearn for the first time. So it feels like we as the audience are catching up with Hank and Peggy and with the world all at the same time. Like Hank hasn't been there without us for 20 years. Like he's coming back just like we're coming back.
Okay.
And like
I like
Bobby's
good,
grown,
like POV character. Yeah.
Right. Like it's really, really good for doing exactly that. And like Bobby's grown. He has his own life. He still lives in Arlen and whatnot. He's running a restaurant. He's living with Joseph.
What kind of a restaurant?
Robata, like which is it's like Japanese German barbecue. Like that's what he's doing.
The big three. The big three. Finally, someone brave enough to combine my three favorite foods.
It's really weird, but he takes it really serious, and like he's just as like likable and endearing as an adult as he always was as a kid. Like but as an adult, like we're Bobby. We're all Bobby.
Sure.
He's a millennial. He has to deal with his dad who has all these conservative viewpoints, but is trying to understand him, and so like it really feels like a homecoming in this for this series. All the ancillary characters are still around and still pretty good. They added Keith David, who was a guy, I can't remember his character in the show because he hasn't actually shown up a lot, but he's apparently like subletted Hank's house while he was gone. Gotcha. And is still just in a neighborhood, but he really isn't around that much. I thought he'd be kind of a bigger addition to the cast, but it's still kind of the main people being recycled. But it's fun. Like I'm having a great time. I think I like maybe 2-3 episodes left to see how they wrap things up. But
yeah, from what I've heard, it's in terms of like Lego sequels, people are like, oh, this, or reboots or whatever you want to call it. People are like, oh, this is like a really good one. Like
it's really, really well done.
Cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, recommend that. And I finally got back around to finishing Lazarus, nice. Which is, Watanabe's latest. I don't think I liked it that much, all in all. Like it's not bad, but it's a little it's kind of mid. Like it's kind of on the boring side. Like the first couple of episodes I watched, and the premise on paper sounds cooler than it is, and like the animation is really really good, especially in that early episode. And then it kind of gets regular after that, and kind of just uninteresting. Like the cast of characters, like I wanted to like them kind of all being these weird outcasts who have special skills, but then become their own found family. But none of them ended up being interesting at all. And like part of it was because they kind of didn't spend a ton of time giving you much information about who they were. Like they break that up over the season, but once they finally get around to it for each one, that story ends up being uninteresting too. So it's like you were waiting for something to latch onto, and then that thing is just kind of ass for all of them.
Yeah, I watched the first couple episodes, and it felt to me like it was constantly chasing Cowboy Bebop, like constantly chasing a prior high that it couldn't reach. And like the crew of the Bebop, the found family there, like the characters are so good, and Spike and Ein and Ed and Faye and Jet and everyone.
And you can see how this cast kind of mirrors parts of that cast, but they're all just kind of watered down.
Yeah, which is a bit of a bummer. I did like the premise. Like, I like the idea of like there's a countdown clock of like you all got addicted to this thing, and it turns out I was poisoning you the entire time. So you need to find me in order for me to give a cure, or else y'all gonna die.
Right. Like, and that premise starts off good, and part of the reason why it's I think a little boring is because they don't really investigate that or interrogate that until a little while in. They waste a ton of time. Like there's a literal countdown. Like the episodes are titled like day this, day that, but then there's a literal countdown of like how long they have to solve this thing so that the world doesn't die. But then those first 4 or 5 episodes are them hitting huge dead ends, like completely unrelated to like getting no closer to what they're trying to do. Like it just feels like a waste of time.
So when we take Nick to the anime tailor, we'll tell them Lazarus is not the suit he needs. Lazarus is not the suit he needs.
And it's a shame because Watanabe is probably a good starting point for other people. Like,
I think Cowboy Bebop might be
like
my go-to in terms of like they'll probably like this.
You can start somebody on a Cowboy Bebop.
It's not really anime, but we're getting Blue Samurai season 2.
Blue Samurai, I'm stoked.
No,
that counts. Okay, that's the type of anime I like.
There you go. I just need anime with blue-eyed samurais. I'm stoked for that.
That or Cyberpunk.
Hey, Samurai Champloo. That's the Watanabe joint.
That's a good one.
That I think you would like, Nick.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Incredible. Samurai
Champloo.
Like I still don't understand any of this, but it's good. I think you would like that.
Just hear that name, and it's like, I would probably just scroll over that.
You love Champloos, Nick. You love
Champloos. Come on, everybody loves a great Champloo.
Everyone loves a Champloo. Cool. Anything else, Casey?
No, I think that's it. Actually,
you seem really pained trying to figure out.
I started some things, but like it's not much to talk about.
There you go. My only biggie this week is I rolled credits on Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. I overall like it. I give it a thumbs up. I think that if you are a modern enjoyer of games that has a bit of aversion to going back to playing slightly older stuff, I think this is a really great way to experience one of the all-time great stories / games that our medium has to offer. Obviously it keeps the same incredible story and performances, but I think a lot of the quality of life changes are great. And I do think by and large, by the end, I came around to most of the visual enhancements. It is not, for me, it's not a replacement of the original. It feels like a remake where like both of them sit side by side kind of as different things, and depending on which one you're in a mood for, you can pull out at any given moment and do this one, if that makes any sense. Kind of similar to like Resident Evil 4 remake doesn't replace Resident Evil 4, but feels like a different thing that's in a similar flavor of this thing, which is weird for this game because the story is exactly the same. The maps are exactly the same. But I think the visuals are different enough to where it's like provides a very different experience. But I don't think that experience is necessarily bad. I ended up coming around to almost all of the new character models and everything. Ocelot was the last character I'm still a little iffy on, but I came around on Snake. I came around on all the members of the Cobra Kai. They can't be called the Cobra Kai.
Cobra
Team,
Kai.
the Cobra Commandos, whatever their name is. And I think the boss is incredible as well. And the small sort of the facial tweaks of like the scene near the end where Snake is at the grave and salutes it and has a tear come down his eye is like that scene with this visual fidelity is incredible. Like his face like holding back sobs as a single tear comes down is like really evocative and I think really powerful. And the ending of this game is still just really fucking great. So I'm a big fan of it. This game still fucking rules. Just play any version of this game, and you're gonna have a good time. So
I mean, you said there were
thumbs up.
You said there were quality of life.
Yes.
Like
some small things like being able to do a lot of different things by holding a button on the D-pad. So you can pull up your radio by holding down on the D-pad and call someone instead of going into the menu. You could pull up your camo by holding up on the D-pad instead of going into the menu. You could pull up your equipment or weapons by holding a button on the D-pad. That's more of the quality of life stuff.
Gotcha.
You can just spend less time in menus, which that game can be very menu fiddly if you are like, I gotta mend my broken bones and then call paramedic and ask about Godzilla. And
did they make that better? Like the because like
no, I still think
the eating and the medical stuff. Yeah,
I still think that stuff is a very cool idea. That is a little pain in the ass. And when I do it, I'm just like fucking. I'll click through every single option for curing me. You'd be like, you got a bullet wound, and I'm like, all right. What about a cigar? Does a cigar work? You're like, no, a cigar does not work. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna pull through every single option. But game's still great. Boss battle's still great. Story's incredible. Music's incredible. They re-recorded Snake Eater for some reason. Same person though, so it just sounds a little different. It's almost like how like Taylor Swift re-recorded her discography, and you're like, well, it's the same song. It sounds a little different.
Everybody loved that.
Yeah, that would have swimmingly. Shout out to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, by the way. I was about to say
Why are we talking about?
Because they're engaged, because they found love in a hopeless place.
We don't give a shit.
Easy. The thing is, rich white people have it hard. And so whenever they're able to find a little happiness in life, I think we need to salute that.
You know what? I'll at least give them props for having the balls to go after Taylor Swift and with the friendship bracelet. It was like fun
friendship bracelet.
Fun little story.
Be more like Travis Kelce, who I think might not even know how to read. So that's a shout to anyone who's illiterate out there. That's a shout out that you can pull a pop star even if you don't know how to read. It's great.
Wow.
But aside from Snake Eater, just Hollow Knight is consuming me now. So
yes, let it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for to play that for next week. Although it is a busy time. A bunch of those games Nick mentioned I want to jump into, and then games keep coming out. Shit doesn't stop. I keep asking it to, but it just won't. We got gotta take some thumbs down because the shit won't stop. It won't stop. A couple more super chats that came in. Eric, thank you so much. Said Nick's slow explanation did Cronos trigger me.
No more super chats, Eric.
No more super chats, Eric. I don't even get that one. That one was so far away. I don't know. It had something to do with Cronos. Shinzu, thank you so much for a 5-pound dono. Cronos / Hell Is Us feels like they're going to get buried by Silksong in new releases. Do you think they should have delayed their launches?
Honestly, no. Just Silksong's $20. I also think the audiences for those two games are very different. I don't think Hell Is Us, Cronos, or Metal Eden are going to sell crazy number of copies. I think Hell Is Us is at least going to probably break 1 million. But
1 million copies sold?
Yeah. Yeah,
really?
Think so. I think so. Not on. Yeah, if you look at Steam, probably not. But I imagine these two games are much more popular on console.
Interesting.
That was one thing I over break I was like looking at, because I was just curious, like looking at because Steam concurrent player counts have been such a big thing for so long now, and I just did that video on it. I was like, like how many reviews does like Assassin's Creed Shadows have on the PlayStation Store? Because it's been in like the top 15 bestsellers all year since it came out, and it's got like 30,000 reviews just on the PlayStation Store. And how many people even think to go review a game on the PlayStation Store? So like clearly it's sold very well there. So I think people discount like how well like third person action games and stuff like that sell on console over PC.
Yeah. There you go. Also, the chat saying I didn't get Eric's Chrono Trigger thing. I fucking got it. It's the word Chrono Trigger. Of course I got it. I didn't understand what it was in reference to. And we've told you not to super chat, so that's why I went over it. You don't get
you
get
roasted
from me.
You're only going to get roasted now.
Chrono Trigger. How? Chat, I am ashamed, and every single one of you is like, Marty didn't get the Chrono Trigger thing. Fuck you all. Fuck you all for thinking I didn't get that. What are you talking about?
Marty walked away during the soundboard. He might actually throw his computer on the ground over
Get out of town. I might throw
you guys got to give us a little bit more credit. Just saying a thing does not count as a joke. You can't just say the name of a thing that people know and like, come on.
I like it. Raven with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Raven. Hey, fellas, I'm just here to support you guys. Marty, I wanted you to know that Monday's word of the week is going to be a very good one. I'm excited. Do you think they capitalized very, or they uppercased very? Do you think it's going to have something to do? Maybe it's going to be like a word that has something to do with the word very, like another word for very. Can there be another word for very? Yeah, like a lot of
super.
I don't know what's happening right
now. Raven every Monday puts in a word of the week. Raven's word of the week on Windbreaker.
Much.
And it's a strange word.
Okay.
That sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. Yahtzee usually knows it. I usually don't, because I'm just like, I don't need these fucking words.
Yeah, we don't need more words.
I don't need more friends, and I don't need more words. I feel like I have enough of both of them, and until someone dies on either side of the field, I'm not taking any more new ones. So,
what's the last word to die?
Fire.
Like, what word has just fallen completely out of
fire?
I guess like slang.
I
can't say Trump anymore. I can't say Trump in terms of like that.
You can't use
it. Trump.
Yeah, this Trump. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
it just turned into mush.
Yeah, I can't say hornblower anymore because people think I'm talking about blowing horns, and I'm like, I'm just talking about hornblowers. So that's another one. Laboratory maniac.
King Dead 42
I didn't even understand that one. I said it. I didn't get it.
What?
King Dead 42 said bozo. I call people bozo.
Oh,
I
love
driving.
Bozo's a great one.
Bozo's a good one.
You pull out in traffic, you're a bozo.
You know what you can't do? You can't tell people to sit on it anymore. You used to be able to tell people to sit on it. You can't do
like
that
the Happy Days times, like
Arthur
Fonzarelli.
You can't tell people to sit on it. Like that is not. You can't do that. Like you're gonna get called out. You're gonna know who your woke friends are if you say sit on it.
That just sounds like you're horny.
Was Fonzie telling people to sit on his dick?
That's the thing. What do you think it is?
Is that what that meant?
I think that's what Arthur Fonzarelli. Absolutely up to that. The Pride of Milwaukee.
That's nuts. They put that in Happy Days.
That show was crazy. That show was absolutely wild. Laboratory Maniac with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Shout out to Nick's mic for not cutting out this week. I agree. Whatever you did, Nick, you did incredible.
Uninstalled and reinstalled Discord. So
HBD, Nick's mic not cutting out. And then Andy Van with $2 Canadian. Thank you so much for KC going against Tay and Marty telling off chat. That's what we do. Listen, we speak truth to power.
I didn't do anything special this week.
Whether that's Taylor, you didn't yell at anyone.
That's true. That's pretty mellow this week.
Yeah, that's fine. You're getting back in the groove. Everything's fine. But yeah, I think that about does it for else. Oh,
are you watching Alien Resurrection? I mean, Alien Earth.
I'm not caught up. No.
I'm
gonna watch this week's episode. The weekend show.
This week's episode was so good.
Too spooky. I've heard people say it feels like an Alien 1 remake.
It is literally an Alien 1 remake.
With the guy who's a cyborg, the guy who's like was on the ship. I'm excited because that guy's
and it's
that guy
really
rules.
good. It's really well shot. And that actor, he's got a crazy Babu something, but he is an incredible actor. Like I don't know if I've seen him in other things before, and now I want to know what else he's played in because he's really good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think he's
Sorry to interrupt. Is that Destin Legary in chat?
That is
Hey,
Destin. Yeah, his YouTube
what up,
channel is
Destin?
also taking a hit.
Destin, welcome to the party.
We're all in this sinking boat together.
What if we just start YouTube too? Think about that. What if Destin, we can start YouTube 2 together. Then Joseph Masucci.
Yeah, make it blue, Eric. That's a great idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joseph Masucci in the value tier. And then S6 with $2 Thank you so much. Quick, Nick, shout at YouTube/Google.
Fuck you, YouTube.
There you go.
Here's the funny thing. That the video of us asking for support today blew up. Hit everybody's home feed. Everyone's like, I saw this in my home feed.
Yeah, folks are saying like this popped in their thing.
Yeah. I'm like, so listen, guys, that's going to be our business model going forward. We're just going to complain about YouTube in every one video once a week.
Makes us grifters, and we can't. I can't. I feel like I'll just throw myself off a bridge.
What if we mix it with the good stuff, though? It seems like the best of both worlds. We attract both the small brains and also thoughtful gaming content.
I like it. The small brains and the big brains. There you go. But yeah, if you didn't see our video, the YouTube algorithm has put a real sticky wicket on not only our videos, but of a lot of creators in a similar space, including folks like Destin and SkillUp and MinMax and Linus Tech Tips and everything. So just another reminder that YouTube and Google is extremely fickle. And so if there are creators that you like, and obviously us included, but all of these other independent creators as well, that supporting them directly is the best way to help ensure that the things you like keep being made. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to break the piggy bank or anything. And honestly, if you don't have the money, supporting by just watching things and sharing things and leaving likes and positive comments and hype. I don't know what hype is, but apparently you could hype videos. Just hype things you like.
Another way for YouTube to get you to click on shit.
It's fine. You can hype things. That's incredible.
I do want to make clear though, because I know there's been some concerns or people saying oh, you know who was right or whatever. We're not in dire straits because of this. We are asking people to go to Patreon as a protective measure for if this continues long term, because the one thing about Second Wind that's really unique to us is that when our shows are consistent. Yahtzee, Fully Medic, every week on average, I can track it every week, did 150,000 views plus. Semi-Medic does 120 to 150,000. Unpacked does 25 to 40,000, Design Dell 50 to 80,000. These are things that are consistent. And so when YouTube, we have hugely varying views on a lot of our shows because we cover so many different topics. And sometimes we just cover a topic because we want to. We know it's not going to do crazy amount of views. Backdrop is a great example of that. TV show is not going to usually do as many views as the next Marvel movie, right? So when we go on the data and on the 13th, and I see Fully Medic is struggling to cross 300 concurrent viewers in the first hour, that never happens. It's always start off 200, then it jumps up to 5, then 7, and then it starts climbing back down. These past 3, Cronos, Mafia, and Ninja Gaiden, all failed to cross even 300 concurrent viewers, which literally is the clearest thing that tells me something is wrong. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about Zero Punctuation. I love about Fully Medic is that that show has been so consistent for so long. When there's a big blip in the data, that immediately tells me uh-oh, YouTube did something bad.
Yeah, it's incredible. What is the term for something a focal point in data? Is an incredible anchor point in data to where you can look at how that is doing in order to be able to read the tea leaves of everything else that is going around it.
Yeah,
might have just made that term up. If there's not a term for that, we should come up with one. We should patent it.
So,
oh my god, incredible!
If you like what we do, go to Patreon. Even if it's $1, it really helps us out. We've had a really great boost today, which is it takes a lot of the stress away that we can weather losing a lot of views that from people that aren't regulars and bring in more subscribers to fund the Patreon, and then we don't have to really worry about it all that much.
Hell yeah. In brighter news, Nick, what kind of things should folks look forward to in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, I'll be back with a new episode of Unpacked tomorrow, talking really just a very positive episode. So again, it's positive. Probably not going to do a lot of views, but just the AA industry is fucking killing it right now. Like I'm just really really optimistic about a lot of developers and their games. So kind of a video just exploring that, and then I'll be back next week on the Editor's Hour with Jenna.
Excellent. Casey?
Yeah, I should have a video dropping on the Patreon soon.
Yes.
That explains how K-pop Demon Hunters and Sinners are essentially the same movie. It's a really fun video, but it's only for the Patreon, so it's a good thing a bunch of new folks signed up recently. So head over there and check that out whenever it drops.
Hell yeah.
Outside of that, I might be streaming tomorrow night. And it might just be me. It might not be me and the wife. But if she's there, either way, I'm just playing Hollow Knight. So she can hang out if she wants. I'm fucking playing Hollow Knight.
I love it.
That's going to happen.
I love it.
Super Smash Sunday on Sunday. Should be back as well.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, on the stream front tomorrow, Jay, Mikey, and Tina will be back with DevHeads at noon Central. They'll be back to their podcast format and chatting about using kind of Hollow Knight and the impending Black Ops 7 to springboard and chat about kind of sequels as a whole, as from a developer's point of view, what makes a good sequel. So that should be a fun chat. And then Focus Finder, thank you so much. Gave a Ko-Fi. I just love Jack's laugh. Listen, only Casey is haunted by Jack's laugh.
It's in the ghost of my OBS.
I forgot that I had set that in the Ko-Fi setting.
Which
I don't know how to get it out.
I love
You
it.
can't.
It is history's greatest curse. But that'll do it for us for this episode of Firelink, episode number 82. Thank you so much to everyone who watched in live on YouTube, anyone who's listening on your podcast service of choice, and of course, all those incredible patrons. We appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you so much. For Nick and Casey and Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink 82. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your nights, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.
Hi, y'all.
Bye.